Dear friends, today I'll take you on a journey that leads through our whole last year. We're gonna fill these empty pages of this photo album with life and history. Let's start where it all began. In February and March of 2023 we made plans. Plans about the upcoming year, about our YouTube channel and about some video ideas in particular. Winter in its slowness is always a good time to sit down and think, and we came up with a lot of good ideas and wanted to bring things on another level. But as usual, life has other plans. Spring came in all its abundance of light, life and colors. And in March, our destiny made its grand entrance with a wonderful surprise for me. After years of walking side by side, my boyfriend asked me to marry him, and we set off on a new path, as of course I said yes. Only a couple of weeks after our engagement, life has given us an incomparable gift. We found out I was pregnant. No surprise here, but still we sure understood that this was a big thing. My body had begun to create a new life, and this circumstance changed everything. We thought we could stick to our plans we made in the first place, but the fatigue that rolled over me right from the beginning of my pregnancy made it impossible. Being tired was not a bad thing, I know it's normal. But in contrast to my first pregnancy, it stayed with me the whole 9 months. This was the reason you haven't heard much of us, the reason why we weren't able to release new videos in our usual frequency. I could feel that my body needed all its energy for the baby, and keeping up with daily life and our nearly 4-year-old son was all I could do. Sure, I felt a bit behind, but I knew it was okay, because I was in that magical state that a woman only is in for a small amount of time in her life. I enjoyed it every second, and I totally welcomed the growing baby bump. Another thing that demanded quite a bit of attention was my wedding dress. I chose to sew it by myself, and I already had a sewing pattern I knew would be fitting for a 3rd trimester bride, which I knew I would be. I started looking for fabrics quite early after our engagement, so I never got into a hurry and everything fitted very well in terms of time. However, there were some parts that had to be sewn by hand, and that took some time. Handling meters and meters of tulle was quite a challenge, but sewing my own wedding dress was wonderful, as I had the possibility to let some Melbourne dreams of pearls and silver come true. I totally love how my outfit turned out. With the transition from autumn to winter came our wedding day. We celebrated together with family and friends at a place that means a lot to us, the steam train station. Some years ago, while dining on a steam train ride, we found out that celebrating a wedding here is possible, and we loved the idea. A lot of our guests had never even seen a steam locomotive before, let alone traveled on one, so it was an adventure for all of us. We went aboard the dining car, and all our guests started this journey together with us. I love these photos that a very talented friend took of us. Isn't that a very special wedding location? We're so grateful for this memory. We took a tea with sandwiches, scones, clotted cream and lemon curd in this carefully restored dining car. And we all enjoyed the ride through the Dutch landscape. It's been a wonderful day and we both were so relaxed and happy. I couldn't have imagined a better wedding day. For our honeymoon, we traveled to the Dutch coast. You might remember the place, it's not far away, just a 2-hour ride from our home, and we've been there several times before. It's a lovely little village, and we had booked a stay from where it was only a couple of minutes of walking to the sea. Autumn at the coast was wild and beautiful. There are only a few people around, it's super windy but sunny, and nature looks different. We found this stunning little forest behind the beach. Look how the weather conditions had shaped the trees. And just like that, the year was over. Looking back, I am amazed. I would never ever have thought that it would turn out like that. I feel super grateful. Also, the last weeks of my pregnancy had begun when 2023 ended. Look, a little human's face was now visible in the ultrasound pictures. I've made notes that I now put in this envelope to remember some special memories of the past months. We didn't want to know the gender in beforehand because we wanted to get that once-in-a-lifetime experience of a surprise in that emotional, hardworking, painful but also joyful moment of birth. I've had a very good pregnancy, I must say, and I'm thankful for that. Even though I had to sleep a lot, I felt very good, and as I said earlier, I really loved my baby belly. A couple of weeks before birth, that one very talented friend took some photos of us again, which turned out to be some lovely family photos of us 3.5, so to speak. I find it so important to have these memories, as it is only a glimpse in time until these weeks and months are gone. We've chosen to give birth at home. I felt very comfortable and safe at home, so we wanted to give it a go. We had a team of 3 midwives that took care of us during pregnancy, birth and postpartum months. One of the midwives that was with us when I gave birth to our oldest was now also taking care of me that I gave birth to our second son, which was really wonderful, and I knew things would be good with her by my side. The first signs of the beginning birth started in the evening when I brought my oldest to bed. However, I had a good night and was able to rest a lot and gather all energy for what I knew would come next. Before my 4-year-old went to kindergarten this morning, I held him in my arms, knowing that he would be a big brother when he would come home again, not being my little one anymore. Birth began in the early morning hours, and only a few hours later we held our baby in our arms. All went well, and our family's welcoming time was beautiful. Our oldest couldn't wait to come home, for he knew what was going on, and he had also been waiting for this moment for weeks. He was super excited to get to know his little brother and welcomed him very happily. Our baby boy is now 3 months old, and my husband stayed home for the first 2 months, which was just wonderful as it helped me a lot to get along with my postpartum time. The weeks and months after birth are special and vulnerable. My husband was the one who organized our life. Our oldest had to get used to the state of being a brother, not only a son. And I myself had lots of time to recover. I stayed in bed, we ate all our meals in the sleeping room, and I didn't have to think about anything. My husband, our friends and family, as well as our 3 midwives, took care of me, the baby, and us all with food, groceries, and time to talk. Sounds good, right? It's totally true, it is a good life that we have. But yes, it is also a constant struggle. Stress due to appointments, emotions, and getting used to a new life with 2 kids instead of 1. And my brain is not yet working properly again. Quite funny sometimes, and definitely meant to be like this, as my mammal body wants me to concentrate on the baby rather than on other people or laundry or whatever, but this makes daily life a bit uneasy. Might also be the reason why it took us so long to make this video, because at the end of the day I am tired, my husband is too, and in terms of being creative, video editing is just too much for me then. I'm only able to do some handicrafts, which is quite nice, as I always have some projects lying around, like literally lying around. We'll get into a rhythm that fits for us again, but for now we're happy to be a family of 4, that's all that counts, and I love it. This photo album already contains beautiful memories and stories to tell, and the empty pages provide space for our future adventures. Last year's plans are still in our minds, but new ones turned up as well, big ones. Let's walk this path together, folks. I am curious where it's gonna lead us to. Thank you for watching, we'll see you soon.